Swoop is a language meant to make it easier to compare ideas across dimensions. The premise is that you can start with something that seems abstract and then ask clarifying questions to understand it better. Mostly it's meant to bridge communication between engineering and design. So the constructs both look and can behave like a C-style programming language. The constructs are potential, vibes, ground, wonder, value, action, something, someone, concept, location, status, definition, ascension. Now, I know that might feel like too much at once, but we'll go through them one at a time. Potential defines possibility or likelihood. Vibes describe dimension or energy. Ground defines center or neutrality. Wonder describes motion or tendency. Value describes charge. Action describes occurrence. Something describes objects. Someone describes perspective. Conceptual space describes context. Location describes position. Status describes condition. Definition describes behavior. Ascension describes meaning. Let's go through some examples. Imagine a magnet. Potential is like the field lines around it because it makes things more possible. With a light bulb that's turned on, vibes are what radiate. An antenna represents ground pretty well. And wonder is the way a bee might bumble. Action might pop a balloon. Different values are like different colors of paint. Something is like a thing, maybe a ball or something. Someone is like something with eyes. One can say thoughts live in conceptual space. Locational space is where we keep our addresses. Status is the way something currently is. Definition is the way something always is. Ascension is kind of meta. If you're on a front-end design or development team, you might think of them this way. Potential is like range, or a list of options. Vibes are kind of like scopes or facets. Ground is kind of like the direction or goals of something. Wonder is like tendencies or history. Value can be thought of like weight or salience. Actions are like decisions or behaviors. Something is like a target or an idea. Someone is like an actor or an entity. Conceptual space is like a domain or a set of constraints. Locational space is like order or position. Status is like state or form. Definition is function or journey. Ascension is the takeaway or the result. So let's say you wanted to design an application and your goal was to make people smile. In that case, potential would be the concept of an application, and the vibes would be to make people smile. Grounding principles could be anything, like literally anything, but let's say you want to respect your users' privacy. So your aim is to give them ways to wonder about your site that don't jeopardize their privacy. And you might do that by providing specific channels that they would find interesting. And when they click on something, they're given a peaceful path towards where they're trying to go. This something could be a button or a link or anything. If you wanted to, you could say that whoever is listening for that response and responds to it is an actor. We hope that they experience something that gives them a sense of well-being. And ideally they'd be able to access that space again. And because it's an application, the person viewing the site ideally would interact with it and change the state of different things. And ideally we'd have a privacy-centric way to understand what people enjoy about the site so we can make it a bit more likely in other places. And that's Swoop. I just realized I forgot about Ascension. What does that mean?